Spurs fans and NBA fans alike are devastated as it broke this morning that Victor Wembanyama is out for the remainder of the season with deep vein thrombosis in his right shoulder. This was discovered right after Wembanyama returned to San Antonio after the All-Star break, and this is a devastating loss for this franchise. After the acquisition of De'Aaron Fox, the Spurs looked like they had a legitimate chance of making the playoffs this season. Now, with De'Aaron Fox there, Stephon Castle, Chris Paul, and that young core, they can still make a chance to get to the play-in and then potentially be a round one exit in this upcoming playoffs. But losing Victor Wembanyama is devastating. This is your franchise player, and there have been some notable players who have dealt with blood clot issues. Brandon Ingram, Asar Thompson, most notably Chris Bosh, who had to retire because of it. Now, we don't want to put that out in the air for Victor Wembanyama because you've seen that players have come back for this. Just recently, Chris Koloko of the Los Angeles Lakers dealt with something like this and has been able to return to the basketball court. Now, this is a major setback for the Spurs because not only was this a building block for this young core to get into a playoffs and get some of that postseason experience under their belt, but you also made a move in going to get a De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox is a needle mover. This shows you what type of team you can be, but you need Victor Wembanyama there to see that potential maximized. Now, ultimately, for Greg Popovich and the Spurs, it looks like this is a resurgence of his coaching career. For those who thought Popovich might be retiring soon, it seems like this young core filled with Victor Wembanyama, Castle, Devin Vassell, Jeremy Sochan, they've brought life back into San Antonio and really life back into their coach. It seems like they are primed to be able in the next few years to put themselves back in that dynasty contention. Now, that will all depend on the development of Victor Wembanyama and his health, but this is devastating to see, especially coming off the heels of All-Star Weekend, where Victor Wembanyama was one of the few players who you can tell went out there and tried to put on a show for the fans. Now, obviously, the All-Star Weekend structure was pretty bad across the board. However, watching Victor Wembanyama in the 8 or 9 minutes that he did participate go full throttle, it excited fans. A lot of fans took to Twitter, to X, Instagram, Facebook to talk about the participation and the effort Victor Wembanyama put into All-Star Weekend. It's a shame that the Spurs are going to have to go the remainder of the season without him and into the playoffs. However, the silver lining could be for players like a Stephon Castle, who's probably going to win Rookie of the Year. This will be a good opportunity for him to continue to build his confidence. For players like Jeremy Sochan and Devin Vassell, who are going to be key pieces for the future of this team, that young core can use this opportunity to not only work on their game, but build their confidence. Not having Wemby is a huge blow, but there is more to come for this Spurs team. And for Spurs fans, I know it's disappointing. You wanted to see your team finally go on a playoff run, at least compete in the play-in tournament. But it's probably not likely once you lose your franchise player and really one of the best defenders in all of basketball. I mean, this is the best shot blocker in the league. He disrupts the ball at the rim at the highest level that this league has to offer. So this is huge for Greg Popovich and his staff. However, there is more time for this window to stay open. Victor Wembanyama is only 20 years old, 21 years old. There's so much more time for this team to grow. And ultimately, yeah, this is one step back for Spurs Nation, but in the seasons to come, there will be dividends because Victor Wembanyama is special. He shows no signs of slowing down, and this is just a minor setback for a major comeback.